Hello, girl.
Hello, girl.
Yay, I'm so glad. I was afraid that you might be working or something and couldn't be here. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I have Monday off, and I'm happy to have Monday off.
Oh, good. So are you back full force?
Yeah, actually it's been going pretty steady. It's been like maybe 3 visits shy of my normal count, but this upcoming week I am full out this week coming up. The rest of this week is
Kidding.
yeah, slammed. The stress level that people are under is amazing, and they are just off the charts. So it's been keeping me busy.
Oh, I imagine. Oh my God. So that's amazing. So you feel you're keeping it safe and it works out?
As far as I can, yeah. I mean, hey Debbie.
Debbie, you're on mute. Bottom left.
Yeah, I've been just trying to do what I can do to keep it, as best I can clean. I mean, between clients and everything, hose everything down. But I mean, so far so good. So
Wow.
yeah, how are you doing?
Good, pretty good. We hold on, Scouty wants to.
There we go.
How are you, my dear?
Hi, good. How are you, Stacy?
Good, thanks. Good.
There you are, Debbie.
Hello.
Hello. Look at the two of you. You look like you're both wearing jackets.
It's
I
cold.
am. It's cold here today.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I just came in from feeding the horses and I'm like, wow, I'm so hot. But we have
I've been
the
sitting at
wood.
my desk, so I'm stagnant, so I get cold.
Yeah. And we have the wood stove going, which is like the best heat, but it's intense. You know,
Ah,
it's really intense heat, which is nice, which is very nice. Yeah, so I mean, we had a bunch of stuff going on here, health wise, and today was a big day for us, so I'll tell you all a little bit about it in a minute. But it was a good day to get some information and a little results about where we're at, because David had some stuff going on and I have had, so it's a little like, okay,
Oh wow.
still in the healing process, I guess. So we'll see. But otherwise, we're good. I mean, we got a good amount of snow. It feels like winter. You know, the Airbnb is booked, which is great because that's my biggest worry, that if we don't have Airbnb, that's a big part of our income, Emily and Diane. Hi, girls.
Hi.
I've been
Hi,
thinking all
girl.
day how you're gonna do the horse feeding.
I had help tonight.
Yes, good. Good. Because I was like, oh shoot, I hope that works. Emily, I love your sweater.
So
Thank
cute.
you. I made it actually.
Wow.
You did?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my God.
That's gorgeous.
Uh, so
That's
But you-
pretty
hey,
snazzy.
everybody.
I'm thinking Lord and Taylor ought to get a hold of that.
you
That is
just
sharp.
knitted that over the holidays or what?
Yeah, early December I finished it.
Wow.
I have
Very
one
good.
laying halfway done in the back here in my room. I'm like, can I send it to you? Can you finish it for me? It's like it has been laying there for a year and a half, I think, at this point. That should tell me something about my time and scheduling.
Nicole, your hair is getting so long.
I
Yeah.
know. It's getting like, yeah, I'm supposed to go, my hairdresser's in Eastern Mass, and I'm supposed to go the end of the month, I think. But she had COVID, and I'm like, am I really gonna go there where she got COVID, obviously, somehow in her life? And I'm like, no, I don't think I need to have hair color done at this point. I don't think we need to worry about that shit. You know? It's just not worth some of those things. I think body work is worth it, but hair, eh.
Stacy, your hair is long too.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ponied up back here. I've been trimming my bangs and I'm like, I need a professional now. I'm like,
Yeah, me too. I trimmed the end of my ponytail the other day,
Oh
and
my God,
that is long.
yours
Yeah.
is so long
Well,
too.
I've got one big, huge chunk that's like. And Emily looked at me and said, "Mom, you didn't know how to do it."
Emily, I bet you could do it. I bet you can cut your mom's bangs in her hair.
I tried. She wouldn't let me. It's just that particular moment.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
So
just got a text. I just got a text from Lacey. She's feeding the animals, so she's gonna jump on as soon as she's done.
good.
Beautiful.
Because I was just thinking, so we're waiting for Lacey and Karin and Nicole.
Nicole just sent a message and said she's not going to be able to join. She had to go to the doctor's unexpectedly, and
Oh.
although she's home now, she's exhausted.
Okay,
She said she's okay, but exhausted.
good. All right. So then I think aside from Karin and Lacey, am I missing somebody? Because Libby and Pam are not going to be there. Who do I? Oh, Andrea. Up and there she is. Ding, ding, ding. There she is.
Hey, Andrea.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, hello.
Hi, girl.
Hi.
We
How
were
you
just
been?
we were just comparing how long our hair has gotten.
Oh yeah.
All of our COVID designs.
And yours too. Yours is long if it wasn't curly.
In a little different color.
Oh,
Yeah.
say that again.
Oh,
Say it
A little
again.
different color. A little different color.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's really growing out.
It is,
You're
yeah.
serious.
I'm serious about it. Yeah, I am.
I love it.
Good
I'm
for
good with this.
you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
thanks.
Make life simpler too.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. I mean, so my husband is a wonderful man, but he's not really big on compliments. But he freaking loves my hair. He freaking loves it. So I was headed to the dermatologist's office one day, and I was heading out the door, and he said, "Oh, you look so good, and I just love your hair." And I flew out of there feeling like $1,000,000. And then I saw the PA at the dermatologist's office, and she did I see you've decided not to color your hair. And I said, yep. And she said, I have to admire you for not caring how you look or what other people think.
oh,
Now,
yeah.
let me just say that
How's it? What do you mean?
she never, I'm sure, I adore Ginger. I'm sure that she didn't mean, to hurt my feelings or anything, but I just thought it was funny.
Oh my. That is just, oh, there's Lacey. Okay. That's one of those sentences where you go like, okay, that will stick for a while. Lacey.
Hey, Lacey.
Hello.
Look how long her hair is too.
Yeah,
we
it's
were
been a
just
while.
everybody, like Diane, you can't tell, but it's long. Stacy's, everybody, we're all just like, let it go.
We're
I went
ponying
the
it
other
up.
way. I cut mine off.
You did?
Yeah, it's shorter, much shorter. Yeah.
And it looks good the way it frames your face. I like it. I like that.
Thank you.
So I
Andrea-
think we have oh, sorry, wait, was somebody gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say before I forget, I'm gonna pass Andrea your information along to my upstairs neighbor. I don't know that
good.
they'll yeah, I'm not sure that they'll bite on it, but they're open to investigating new ideas.
Okay, great. I'd love to hear from them.
So I think the only one we might be waiting for right now is Karin, right? Has anybody heard from her?
No, but Carrie said she's joining late, so you probably
Yeah.
know that already. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But
and
I thought I saw Claire said she was gonna try to come too.
I know, yeah. So, well, I mean, it's kind of 5:05. We'll just get, because otherwise we're just sitting here going like, okay, but can we talk about that? It's nothing personal. Which is a little challenging for us all, I think. So it was very interesting for me just to kind of set us, to start us off. It was interesting to me. I had gotten Pam's email and I was kind of like, oh, that's so interesting, because I had the same feeling. I feel like we all have been, really supporting each other in so many ways through this last year. And I was today looking back at it going, oh my God, what an amazing thing we actually were able to pull off through our North Dakota experience together, to then support each other in so many different ways through this last year that was obviously challenging on many levels, for at least for several of us, and yet at the same time, I think we also talked about how often we realized, holy shit, this is a great opportunity and we're making the most of it in every which way we can. But I also felt like that so many beautiful connections had been developed from different people with different people, and that it is almost like it's okay to let it go and let it go where it needs to go, because I feel like we are all connected. And if one of us would say, hey, I miss you all, let's do a Zoom call, then that person could step up, or we can keep sending notes, as to where we are, or if somebody has anything exciting or needs support or whatnot, just so that, so that I also pull myself out of this core position, I think, because we've had obviously a bunch going on during the summer with Shauna and with David, and it seems like things are still moving a little along where I feel I really have to pay attention at home here. David had recently some memory issues that were really, really, really scary to both of us. And we actually just this morning got the test results from a test, and hopefully, because he had for most of his life sleep apnea, and the doctor said to us today, if he gets one of those adorably sexy masks to sleep with, he can actually stop it and kind of regenerate his cognition. And so we're a little like, phew, but it's not over, because there's other tests coming and things we need to deal with. And then I have this crazy fibroid that just was discovered early November. And today I went to the doctor again, because I'm like, something isn't right. So as most of you know, I had taken care of a little bit of my friend Stephanie, who had the cancer and last year. And it just really pushed me into a position where I'm like, no matter what it is, Nicole, you better freaking shift something that you don't later on go, wow, now my life is cut short. And what did I do? I still did all the silly patterns that I shouldn't have done, and that I was smarter, but didn't apply in terms of self-care and not being so quickly pulled to support others, but really, be with me and our family first. I mean, I just never really learned that in a good way, because somehow in my family, we all grew up helping people. And so that has really pushed me over the edge, where I was like, okay, I need to change some stuff. And so when Pam sent the note, I was like, yep, I'm on it. I'm already on it. And I think it's okay. I feel like we're all good. We're tight. We love each other, and we all know we can reach out and, connect if and when there is desire. And so I feel really okay to say, we're gonna just let this go and let everything fall where it may. And so which then led me to the point of thinking, so what is this group really for me? And I came back to something that I said once before to you. I have never, I am a nomad. First of all, I am by myself a lot. I like being by myself. I don't have my family close. And I've moved, I think, 28 times in my life. I mean, I'm looking at a piece of property right now and I'm like, let's go. I'm ready to move again if it's the right thing. And so what that does though is you don't have a community. I don't have the high school friend that I have been hanging out with, since over the last 30 years. Well, I don't have my little community in my neighborhood where everybody knows everybody or whatnot. So for me to have this group is the first time in my life, truly, aside from job situations where I had colleagues that I like, but this is the first time that feels to me like, wow, I mean, these people know me in so many ways better than most others. You guys know, I mean, I don't share what I just talked about with David and myself. I mean, I don't talk about those things. That's not something I put on Facebook or whatever. So I'm so grateful for that experience, to know that what we created together and that I have this amazing opportunity to feel this kind of energy for the first time in my life. And so I really feel very, very deeply grateful for our group, but also for everybody that is part of the group, and how we were able to create such a beautiful thing that certainly feels amazing to me. And so I just want to start it off with a big thank you for giving all of us, but also to speak about myself, me, the opportunity to have that kind of a connection that just up until I was 50 years old never happened before for me. So I bow to thee. So that's kind of like where we are at here right now. So that was just my little opening sermon, and take it from here. Anybody who wants.
Well, I'll go ahead and make a little announcement that Nicole knows about already. So for the past month, I've been working on this and not sure how it was going to come out, because this is a first experience for me. But I can officially announce today that I have a new four-legged partner. He is a horse named Sammy, and I'm leasing him. And he and I will have the opportunity to do at least 2 trail rides together a week, and a lesson, and lots of barn time as well. So I'm very excited about it. And Sammy, I don't know, there's something special about him. A couple months ago, I was grooming him because I volunteer at the rescue barn, and that's where he is. He's one of the school horses, and I was grooming him, not because I was going to ride him. I was just grooming him, and I felt something special about him. And then I had a dream about him that night. But I said to Carrie, I said, well, they won't lease out the school horses. They need them too much as program horses. So I don't know why I'm dreaming about him, but it went through lots of twists and turns, and he is the horse. He is the right horse for me. And they made a special exception for my lease. And his name is my father's name. And when I was very young, I think it started about 6 years old, when I could write, I would put a note to my father once a week and tell him I wanted a horse. I would just write horse and hand it to him. And while he never said no, it became abundantly clear that I was never going to get a horse, and there was lots of reasons why, but he never said no because he didn't want to kill the dream in me. So while he's not operating on this side of the universe anymore, I do believe from the other side he had something to do with this.
Oh,
That's a
awesome.
lovely
Wow.
story. That's a great
I-
story.
I'm
you.
so psyched for you. I mean, this is just so cool.
Thank
You
you.
need to send us all a picture. Send us a picture
Yeah.
of him.
I have some pictures of him, but he was out in the paddock and I couldn't get close enough. So tomorrow I'm going to go to ride him actually for the first time without that being part of a lesson. And my friend will be with me. She's leasing a horse too. And I'll ask her to take pictures of us together and I'll send them out to all of you.
Oh, that'd be
Yes,
great.
please.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So happy for you.
Thank you. It is my dream come true that I really didn't think was ever going to come true. So I feel very happy.
Wow. I got
Yeah.
goosebumps when you were telling that story about your dad.
Yes.
Oh my
Thank,
gosh. That's
Wow.
awesome.
thank you.
Well, nobody can top that.
I don't know this group. I bet you they can.
Well, that kind of happened to us when I went to Diane and Emily's to pick up some supplies. And what did I say? The horse that I was drawn to the most was my dad's name
Uh-huh.
at your stable. His name
Uh-huh.
is George. And George and I just kept talking to each other and I was just, connected to George. It was so cool.
And George is a cool dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know George.
I know George. He's cool. He's very cool.
That was funny. That's so neat.
Mhm.
God.
Well, I have kind of a fun story. One of the horses I'm working with, and Nicole knows this, Nicole was part of this story, is a beautiful Andalusian stallion that lives in France.
Mm.
And I started working with him on his leg and kind of felt like we'd made improvement in about as much as we could. So I kind of backed off of contacting him, but I was still in contact with his owner. And she and I would email back and forth from time to time. And she sent me, updates on his progress. And then at one point she said, "You have changed our lives." And I knew his leg wasn't completely better, but I wasn't really sure what she meant. So then like I said, I kind of lost touch with him. I wasn't really connecting with him for, I guess, about a month or so. And then she wrote to me and said, "Something's been happening in the last few weeks and he just isn't doing well. He seems depressed. I'm afraid he's colicking. I've been taking his temperature. I keep staying with him. I just don't know what's wrong." So, I honed in on the whole colic thing. So that night I went and connected with him. And the next day she said, "He's so much better now." And, the next day I've gotten my stallion back. But the really cool part of this is when I connected with him, the first thing I heard was, "Where have you been? I've missed you." So I decided to just kind of energetically hang out with him. And I visualized myself in his stall. And since he's a big, powerful stallion, I asked for permission. And then I asked for permission to touch him. And I got, "Yes, that's fine." And I visualized myself stroking him. And then I asked if I could walk around behind him. Yes. And I stroked the other side. "Can I stand behind you and finger comb your tail?" Yes. And then I just went to the front of his stall and we just stood there looking out at the stars and the moon and just breathing the air. And I mean, it was a magical experience. But lo and behold, like 3 days later, I get this tile in the mail from Nicole, which completely captured that whole picture of the horse and I looking out at the night sky together.
Aw.
And I have no idea how she knew, but she knew
I
that
didn't.
was the picture. And she knew, so this horse is also gray as my horse is gray, but she knew this wasn't my horse, Sammy. She knew it was a different horse, but just
Yeah,
kept feeling
because
drawn.
I
to that.
wanted to actually give Andrea the medicine horse pile. This was like sending people the thank you for the support from Shauna, because I'm like, of course she needs the medicine horse tile. I mean, like that's what she's doing right now. And every time I grab that tile, my eye goes onto the other tile. I'm like, that doesn't even look anything like our horse. I'm like, she's gonna be like, "Why do you send me some random profile of a horse, whitish, but not like mine, with all the stars and the thing?" And I'm like, I don't know. So I sat with that for a couple of days. And at the end, I'm like, I'll just send her the tile. I don't know what's going on. And then that happened. And I'm like, this is so crazy. It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And then I sent a picture of that reptile to the stallion's owner, and she took one look at it and she said, "That's my horse." She just completely recognized her horse in it. His just his whole energy
Oh my
and
goodness,
his
that's so
mane and
cool.
his face. I know, it's really
That's
cool.
crazy.
Goosebumps.
Yes.
So thank you, Nicole, for bringing even more magic into my life.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad. And I am working on the other one because of what was going on here at home. I haven't done a lot of carving, but I'm doing some starting next week again, because that's another one of those things. I love the carving, and my life got so crazy. I'm like, that's a really big part of my life now, the carving, and I need to do it. So I'm on it. Just so you
Well,
know.
no hurry. There's no hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is
That's
Shayna?
He's great, right, Andrea?
Oh, she was asking how Shauna is.
Shauna. I'm sorry, Shauna. How is Shauna doing?
She's great.
Oh, good.
I actually yesterday, oh my God, see, yesterday somebody stopped by. Oh my God, now I don't remember who.
Go ask David.
Right. Who was it yesterday? How yesterday? Somebody stopped by and was saying to me, "Oh my God, I would have never thought that there's anything wrong." Oh yeah, one of my clients stopped by, the one who were going to look at this property at. And she was like, "My God, I heard your story about every of her so much." And she goes, "I wouldn't even know there's anything. You see a little bump, but she is back." You know, it took her 4 or 5 months to come back, but is that a surprise after so much,
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of trauma? But she is back. She was kicking Monarch's ass this morning over breakfast. So she is in a good place. Kari!
Oh, I had so much trouble with the internet, but I had to turn off any machine around me, and finally I was able to connect.
Oh, so good to see you. And then we have an iPad there. I don't know who that is. That might be Claire.
That's Claire.
Ah,
Claire, if I, can I get in? Am I in?
Yeah, but
You're
you
in, we just
turn your
can't see
camera
you.
on.
I'm looking for, I
Can you
don't
turn on your
see
video?
where, this has never happened before.
Bottom
This has
left.
never happened to me before. Wait a minute.
maybe sign off and sign back on.
I'll say sometimes when you sign in, it asks you to use your camera. And if you accidentally hit no, your camera might not turn on.
Well, let me see. Maybe
It says stop video and it says share screen. This has never happened to me before, so now I'm aggravated.
well, just maybe
You keep cutting it out, figure it out. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a whole different setup all of a sudden. What's this? Oh.
well, you just play around and see, or go out and come back in, and we're just gonna keep chatting. All right?
Yeah, works for me. Hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
Can you see
That's-
us? Yeah.
I see all of you. I don't understand why I cannot.
So can you go
What's
to the
this?
bottom left of the screen and see the mute and the stop video or start video and audio?
Might be at the top of
Actually,
the
it's in my
screen.
top right now. It's all different. It says participants. It says share screen. Maybe if I,
Start video.
no. It says stop video. It doesn't say start video.
Do you
Turn on
have
the
a-
light in the house.
Siri.
or do you have a sticker over the
Oh, now that-
camera like I do usually, and then all of a sudden, something.
Oh,
just-
you know what? Wait, you might be right. Hold on, where's my camera? All right, keep chatting,
and
I'll
some
figure it
things
out.
just never change. I love it.
Oh,
All right,
Oh,
who's
crap.
next? Who's next? Who wants to share?
I guess I'll go.
Good. Go for it.
I don't know. I guess it's been quiet and exciting at the same time, I guess. I guess my biggest thing is, actually I was talking to Andrea this morning that my Bowie is on the mend.
Oh, good.
So we're almost at 4 months since his diagnosis for his knee.
Wow.
And we got clearance from the vet to do some more exercise And so we've been doing that with him for like the last 3 days. We let him run around and a little bit, and it makes a world of a difference for him. He does like 10 minutes, 15 minutes and passes out when he comes inside.
Aw.
Whereas before, for the last couple of months before that, he has just been in my house whining at me all day because he can't expend much energy. He can't run around. So he's doing really well. A lot of dogs don't even heal on their own. A lot of them need surgery, which that would have just been a nightmare. So he's doing really, really good. What else? Dooley has a new pasture mate who he hated at first. And now they are BFFs. This new horse, his name is Nova, and he's 8 years old. Very young. I almost feel like he maybe didn't have a whole lot of socialization in his short years of life with other horses. And so he is very clingy, very needy, like he needs to be touching other horses at all times. He has to be touching somebody or very close to them. And at first, Dooley had a really big space bubble with him. He didn't want him anywhere near him. And they play all day now, all day long. They go back and forth. I have videos of it. They're rearing up and playing all day. And it's really nice to see that from him. I mean, Dooley's gonna be 23. So not that he is, he's calmer now as he's gotten older. But just seeing him still really active and playful and playing and interacting instead of just kind of being like blah, is really nice to see. And him using his muscles and playing all day. It's literally all day.
You know, and he is not the type really. He is much more like the straightforward, straight-laced worker type. So for him to, at this age, be able to almost like utilize that other side or another facet of his life or his personality that this other horse brought out, that's so wonderful. I mean, that's just, it almost like rounds up his life, you know, that he also gets to play, which so many horses really don't, you know. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was really interesting because so they're now a herd of all four geldings. And when Nova first came in, like I said, Dooley had a huge space bubble with this horse, very big. Like Nova even looked at him and Dooley was pinning his ears. He didn't want him near him. And Dooley became very blah, like to the point that I almost had a vet come out and do like a Lyme test on him. He just wasn't himself. And my best friend is my vet tech, and she had just come over to the barn for something else. And I was like, you want to just, take a peek at him, listen to his heart and stuff, take his temperature real quick for me and just see what you think. And she's like, yeah. And so I was talking to her about it. And I said, I don't know, he's just not his normal self. Like, I'll give him a couple days and see. Maybe I'll have him tested for Lyme or something. He was just very blah. And the next day, it was like night and day. And I think that I talked to Carrie, I think. I can't remember what happened, but she called me and she was like, yeah, I don't know, Dooley just said that I need to call you and he needs to talk to you, or you need to know something. It might have been that day. And then like the next day, he was very comforted by the acknowledgement that I recognized him, that he was different, and that I was willing to separate him if needed from this other horse if this herd dynamic didn't work out. And he's been really good ever since.
Nice.
So he did have a couple, was it 2 weeks ago maybe? His leg was fat and he had gotten cellulitis before, and I was worried. I was like, oh no. So I was like on top of that. And it wasn't cellulitis because it went down. And then so I was wondering if it was an abscess. I never saw an abscess blow, and now his leg is fine. I have no idea what he did. Maybe he twisted it playing. I don't know.
So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's been maybe 10 days now, and he's okay. I'm still just doing my part-time work, which I really like. Sometimes my clients are challenging, but I started doing a new routine actually this last week, and I really enjoy it. I found myself being on social media too much during the day, and it was giving me an excuse not to do things. So I set a time from 9 to 5 that I was going to not be on Facebook or Instagram or whatever else. And it feels really good doing that. Being more productive, doing some things that I needed to do around the house that just gets put off because, doing other things. Just choosing to eat better stuff, and I just feel a lot better. I've been doing yoga at night. I've been doing some Reiki on myself in the morning, and I feel so much better. I just feel more energetic, more balanced, I guess, instead of just very like blah. Otherwise, I don't know if I have too much. My dad's doing really, really well. I know I had talked to you guys about him in the past. He's doing really good. My brother just had COVID,
Ooh,
and somehow my mom did not get it. I don't know how that happened because they live together.
ooh, wow. Is your brother okay?
Yeah, he was only sick for like 24 hours, and so they didn't think he had it. So he didn't get tested for, I don't know, maybe 9 days. And then finally he went and got tested and found out he was positive.
Ooh.
So he had been going to work, and
Oh,
he works
geez.
at ShopRite, and so I don't know. But yeah, my mom got tested and she wasn't positive, which is it's such a strange virus.
Yeah.
But it's really rampant up by us right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have it. Otherwise we don't have not too much exciting stuff going on.
Tracy, where do you live?
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry.
I'm in northern New Jersey. I'm
Oh, okay.
in Sussex County, so like the very top of New Jersey. I'm like 10 minutes from New York and 10 minutes from Pennsylvania. Like the very, very, very top.
Are you working on your own or are you working through the agency that you were with?
I am with the agency, so I'm just doing, it's like a fee for service.
Okay.
And I'm working towards my hours for my next license. It would be, I'm enjoying working part-time, and I'm working towards something else. I think that helps. It's not like I'm just doing this and kind of staying stagnant.
Cool.
So if I went to like another full-time job or something, I might not get the supervision that I need for the hours and have all those hours and stuff count for my license. So, I'm just working as much as I can, and I have really great supervisors who I'm learning from,
Oh, good.
and they're really easy. They don't micromanage. They just get your stuff done and you're good to go. So it's nice to work for them. They're not like checking on you to see when you're doing things, like when your sessions are scheduled or anything like that. So it's nice.
Oh, good.
So
Good for
how
you.
long before, so if you would keep it up at this pace, how long before you would have your independent license?
It will be a while, probably 2 years still. It really depends on how many hours I have. So we have to do a total of 3,000 hours. 1,900 of them have to be face-to-face hours. So it really depends on how many clients I take, which I can take as many or as little as I want.
Wow.
But I have 6. I have 6 right now. But I don't want to overwhelm and burn out either. So I'm trying to slowly increase my amount and get into like a routine. Most of my clients are kids too, so I have to do after school hours. And there's only so many after school hours available too. But right
Makes
now,
it harder.
yeah. My goal is to get up to somewhere between like 16 and 17. If I did 4 days, Monday through Thursday, 4 sessions a day in the afternoon, that would be really good. Plus that would replace what I was getting paid for my other, and like my unemployment.
Oh, So you have options to work also more, the part-time is actually your choice at this point, it sounds.
Yeah, I won't get offered like full time with benefits. But I could take as many clients as I want. And if I get filled up with kids like after school sessions, I also can say, I'll take adults that are available during the day. Because when they do the referrals, when they call in, they ask what their availability is. So they could always, and they divvy it up depending on the type of case and the availability and stuff like that. But I like it. I'm learning a lot, and I try to, each session challenge myself a little bit and push myself, to use some different skills. And sometimes it's hard and scary, but that's how you learn.
Mm-hmm. Right. Good for you. Good for you. And are you still thinking about doing something with the horses and your clients, or are you still doing that with this little boy that you were working with?
I haven't seen him in quite some time. I would love to reach out to him, but I don't know. It's kind of like sort of pushing the boundaries, I guess, of like the type of relationship, the professional relationship. Like really his mom should be reaching out to me. I would love to do that. I think that's ultimately like would be my goal, which would be perfect because we can't get a mortgage for a couple of years because Dean is in his own business and you can't get a mortgage for like 2 or 3 years. So that would be like perfect timing. Because then if we were able to get a mortgage within a different place and have like my own setup at home, that would be ideal. And then that would be like when I would get my license and all that stuff. So
and
that's
all
what I
the
would do.
paths merge together to the perfect property where you can do all the stuff at the right time with all things. And it's gonna happen. We already know that, right?
We just waiting and working on it.
Good. Wow. Very exciting. And your hubby is good?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's pretty busy. He I don't know, he might be outside right now. He just had to take his work truck apart and redo that. And he's been doing well with his business. It's a little slower now in the wintertime, but he's doing good. Yeah.
Perfect.
Street and cut the line out.
All right. Who's next?
Jumping in. Well, I'll say a quick hello to everybody. So nice to see all your faces. I don't even remember when we met last. It feels like forever. I've been back to work pretty steadily. I was telling Nicole before we started, and have seen a tremendous cycle of waves coming through the office energetically with people, just heightened anxiety and whatnot. And it's just keeping me very busy and steady, thank God. I've been pretty close to this coming week coming up. I'm actually got a full solid schedule where I've been about maybe 3 visits shy of my normal schedule since I've been back. So I've been really blessed. A lot of therapists are still debating whether to go back or come back. And so far I've been able to hold on and sustain, and people are coming in. So I've been really, really fortunate. I've had some very interesting experiences since I've seen you all last. My landlord decided to sell the building that I live in. I'm in a triple decker. And as you know, I was helping JR or Lee, as I think I introduced you to, referred to Lee as the gentleman that was homeless on the street.
Yep.
So I had been engaged with him on a daily basis for a very long time.
I just said you're engaged with him, and I'm like, what? She got engaged?
Oh. Been engaged with him. So over the course of time, he was going to live in a tent situation during the winter time, and I had offered for him to stay with me here at the apartment. And so he is here with me, and we were kind of playing that out, and everything is going fine, and he's still living with me. And it was the strangest day. It happened to be my brother's birthday, and that's the only reason why I remember the date. This was November 5th. My landlord calls, and after I think almost 3 months of trying to help JR obtain all of the appropriate IDs, his wallet had gotten stolen earlier on in the year. It was such a crap show trying to get his IDs from the state agencies and whatnot. It was such a challenge. Got his last piece of identification so that he could go down and get his state ID applied for. So that piece of information came in, we got the appointment, and he's in at the DMV, comes out with his ID in hand after 3 or 4 months of trying to get this sucker. And I'm on the phone with my landlord, and he's telling me he's going to sell the place. And I'm like, oh my God, now what? So we're trying to, I'm like trying not to panic, because he's a very good landlord and whatnot. And so that equated to rents going up, basically, because he kept me very low on my rent. And while he's talking, JR had asked me, could I take him to the labor pool, the workforce place that he knew of, because a company he used to work with, he knew was hiring, and he could get in on the temp agency. So I'm still talking to my landlord, drive him over there, and he goes up to the agency. And within an hour of him doing applications, he got his ID and got placed for a night shift position that night. And then I'm literally handing him a key to my apartment so that he can get back in. And I'm like, it happened all with like in an hour of talking to my landlord and him having his ID come through and go through all that stuff. So it was kind of a big day for like movement in all directions. So he's still here, and I would say now over a course of time we have gotten into a very nice relationship, and it's been interesting, and he's been healing in a great way, and I'm just very privileged to be part of his healing process also. So I feel it's a little bit unconventional. I was talking to Libby about it a little bit, and she said, well, you're not a conventional person. So our relationship is very unconventional, I'll put it that way. But it has been really a beautiful exchange of friendship, is what I can say has come out of this whole event of watching our lives transpire into something that I never would have anticipated. So it's unique, and I have not really talked to a lot of people about it, because I'm not really sure where I stand with myself, so it's been a very interesting evolution of experimenting in life and love and feelings and whatnot. So I don't know, what's going to happen. We're just basically here for each other, getting each other through the whatevers of life and the what ifs of life. So whether it is what it is for a while, or however long it lasts, but we're having a really nice companionship going on right now. So I would have never ever anticipated that.
Wow.
So it is like your dermatology person. It's like the what ifs of what would people think, and allowing your life to actually transpire and unfold and do what you really want to do, and be with how you are. It's a challenge because of what other people think. And I've talked to my son about it and my girlfriend about it, but it's like, it's just an odd feeling, because I don't know how people are going to react. There's quite an age gap here, but
Cradle robber.
What is it?
Cradle robber.
Yes.
Cougar. They're gonna throw all these words at you, cougar lady.
Cougar. It's just, with the thing I appreciate, which is very interesting, and I honestly have to attribute it to this group and this whole Nakota thing, is the fact of standing in your own confidence, is what those mayors taught me is to be, you know, you got to honor your truth. And when I had something actually pop into my head the other day when I was working on a client, my head drifted off and I was like, you know, if you put people in a room and couldn't see each other and you got to learn about each other and couldn't see or know anything about them and just started the conversation, I would have had this friendship start 100 times over again, because we're very at ease with each other. If we never knew about age or this or that, I would be, the ease of which it comes about is what I'm following. So that's what I'm going on. It's like there's an ease to this relationship that I haven't had with other people. So it's really kind of a neat way to be with somebody, you know, not anticipating, not arguing, not, you know, there's definitely struggles of life that are surrounding some circumstances, but who is not experiencing that? I don't know. You know, I think we all have stuff going on. And I'm still kind of always amazed at the ease of which day-to-day happenings go on. So I'm like, I'm blessed with that for right now.
Very.
But the horses taught me that, you know, the horses, the one thing that I took away from that trip was the standing in your own truth and being who you are. And this is who I am right now. And I'm allowing myself to experience it and experiment. So, which I've never done before. I've never had the courage to like actually just, hey, what if I did do that? You know, I don't want to lose out on a friendship. You know, so. And then I had a very lovely experience of finally catching up to my family. My girlfriend and her husband hosted us coming to their house at the beginning part of December. So my son and daughter-in-law and the kids, they drove from Florida to Alabama, and I flew, and we all met at their house, and it was a great reunion there. So that was awesome. Got to see my family. And I don't know if you all know or not, but my son is in his 5th year of cancer remission. So that's a huge piece of information there. He was cleared in October. He doesn't have to go back for tests anymore. So he's knock on wood.
Yay.
In that status. So that's a huge deal. And the grandkids and my daughter-in-law, they're all doing great. So I can't ask for anything more there. And they walked us down to a property of a neighbor that had horses. I posted some stuff on Facebook, but there was a couple of horses that we were feeding apples, and the kids were feeding them carrots and apples and stuff. And this one horse, I don't know what the deal was. It's like we mind melded together. And I had a date with that little guy every afternoon that I was there. I said, I'm going on. I mean, I have my grandkids here, and I'm like, I'm going to visit my boyfriend down down the road. I'm like, I have a date. I'll be back in a little while. And he was so grounding and so loving, and just would come up to the fence, and we literally stood forehead to forehead, connected, touching for like 5-10 minutes. Just he let me lay on his forehead with my forehead, and I was like, what is this connection? It was so amazing, just so loving. So that was really a nice experience too. So that was fun. Got my horsey fix on that trip. Right. And other than that, Stoley's good. He's running around like a maniac still, so all is good there. And
he had to show himself trotting through the green. I love it.
Got his little tail in the view there. But but I mean, I still feel a little bit uneasy. We just met the new owners of the place, and I have a lease and all that, but I still feel like there's a move that's going to happen, and I'm not sure why. So I don't feel 100% for some reason that this is got solidity to it or something. I'm not sure. I feel like there's a wobble coming, and I don't like when I feel a wobble coming.
No.
But it obviously would be, you know, whatever changes, if it's coming, I'm sure it would be an improvement in some way. I don't know, but so I don't, when you get unsettled like that, I'm not sure what that is about. So I'll have to wait and see. But I think it's great hearing about everybody else's progress too. There's so much stuff transpiring everywhere. So, but thank you for letting me share my cougar story with you. And hope you don't think any less of me.
We love it.
Yeah, I love it.
No,
Great.
I admire
Happy.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
admire that you're stepping forward with yourself, that you're feeling yourself and stepping forward.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it's truly is a neat space to be standing in right at the moment, and I'm got a lot of gratitude for what he's brought to my table as well. So we'll see what happens.
I really feel that that experience you had with the horse on your trip visiting your family, I think there was a lot of confirmations that this horse knows you are centered in yourself. He's very comfortable with you, and he's letting you know that you're just where you need to be right now.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because sometimes, I mean, you know, it's like everything's all over the place, and you know, you're trying to project what's going to happen, where you're going to go, this, and that, and I'm trying to be in the most neutral position possible because I feel like there's so much change going on around us, and trying to be centered for my clients, and you know, it's like trying not to get into their stuff and keep yourself separate. It is challenging. So, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And this is so minor, but I love the term wobble. Like, oh, there's a wobble coming. It sounds so much less like threatening. Like it's like, oh, just like a little wobble here until we find our balance again. Like that's I'm definitely gonna, think about that the next time maybe a hardship or something comes up, because it does. It's just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna wobble until we find our way back. Like I think of one of those
Remember those things that they were weebles wobbles, but they don't fall down? That's what
Yes.
I refer to myself.
like-
that
yes.
round bottom. Yeah.
That's actually a really
Yeah.
great visual. The
Yeah,
bottom
just
is so solid and they just go, and then it's like right back to center. Yeah, that's a
Exactly.
very good visual. I like it.
I like that.
Good for your kids too.
What's that?
I think it'd be good for the kids too.
Lazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Does it feel like a
Yeah, it's
wobble?
easy.
You can ask them. That's great. Wow, cool stuff, Stacy. I'm so glad. That sounds all very it's like it all sounds like you created this all with a lot of conscience. It feels to me. It's not like, oh, storm right in, because we've been with you for months and months and months, and it seems really like you took your time and grew it and allowed it. And as Monarch would say, how did he put it to me? Show me that you're trustworthy, however long it takes. And it took a while. And I think that's really great. I mean, because that way you didn't get yourself in a bundle there. So that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And it really was. It was a friendship evolving. And as a result, I got, one of his friends that lives at the shelter. He's the only other person that I've allowed to come here to the house. And so we've had dinner, and, we help take care of some of his needs and stuff like that. So it's like, he's very giving back to the community because he experiences it firsthand, and he knows he's so conscious of what they need or what's helpful to people, and like, that kind of stuff. And it's like, he's got great energy that way, which is what I want to do, is be around somebody that's thinking of the other guy down the street, so we go out to breakfast every once in a while. So I have a unique family developing here.
Oh, good. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Karen, we still haven't. Karen seems to always go last. I think Karen should come up. I'm going to push her first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I just read on Facebook that they're making a movie about the Nakota horses.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in April on Netflix or something.
Wow.
That's going to be cool.
I didn't know that. I just saw it like a few days ago. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think this is maybe, if I remember this right, it's the guy that actually came right after we were there. He's a photographer, if that is the guy, unless there's something else developing. But he was interested in doing some work for them and had taken a lot of photos and in the winter and that type of thing. And I think he's the one who creates this next documentary. Great. I mean, finally, the part of the documentary that we saw that was never finished, that was such a bummer, because I'm like, that would be so incredible. It's so beautiful and emotional. And wasn't just like, there's the other one that was more about Leo, which Frank wasn't so excited about. That, what is it, something with a heart, Nakota Heart, I think, right, was the name of it. And somehow Frank wasn't so excited about it, and I don't know why, but somehow I guess maybe the information wasn't presented correctly. But this one, obviously, Frank must be involved in on a large scale. So yeah, that's nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's this guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook, the photographer. His name is, I can't pronounce it, it's EJAZ.
I think Frank calls him Ejaz.
And then his last name is Ejaz, KHAN.
Oh.
And I follow him on Facebook. He has the most fabulous stories, fabulous pictures, fabulous inspirational, just, I mean, it's amazing, this guy. Snowy owls, leopards, he goes all over the world. And he started, his wife got him a camera for his birthday. And that's how he started doing photography. And the next thing you know, he quit his job and travels the world.
Wow.
Yeah,
So if you want to follow him on Facebook,
his quotes are, he's very inspirational with his quotes and how he yeah, right. Yeah, he's just really hits it. He's really quite something.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So I'm doing different things. I'm doing group sessions. I continue with the group sessions. Sometimes sometimes I go places, and sometimes I'm just here in the room on Zoom. But I have also done over Christmas, there was a family of 5, and they asked me if I would go to the studio that I rent when I have private clients and offer them all a sound healing session. So that was beautiful. We all wore the mask, of course. But it was just nice to be in a room with live people. It's so different when you can be live. So that has been going on. I'm also seeing private clients, and I'm having, I don't know, like 5 or 6 that come whenever they need it. So it's not too much, it's not too little, it's wonderful. And then I have been asked, because I have been teaching bookbinding for teachers in schools for almost 30 years. And I have been asked to teach teachers, but on Zoom. So now I have to revise everything on how to present the hand making of books on Zoom. So I know they have projectors. I mean, there are projectors that would project onto your desktop, and you could, do the folding and cutting and gluing and whatever you have to do to demonstrate. Or you can also use your phone with a tripod. So I have to experiment with that. I'm still waiting for the okay from the Teacher Institute to see if they want the course, if they, and then of course, thank God I have a partner. She's in Florida, but nevertheless can divide the work. And we have to prepare everything, all the tools, all the papers have to be pre-cut and labeled and everything, and then put into bags for the teachers to pick up at the school to bring home to their homes.
Jeez.
So it's a whole new way of planning a workshop.
Wow.
But I find it interesting to just challenge myself and try something new. So I'm hoping that it's going to go through, and it's going to be soon. It's going to be, I think, the first week in March.
Wow.
So it's coming quickly, which is good because then I don't panic for too long. It's not May, it's March. So
Yeah.
it's and then the big news is that my daughter was supposed to get married in February in Switzerland, and she postponed for a year, but they decided to get married at the town hall. This week it's going to be on Friday in the local town hall.
Wow.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
In
you.
Switzerland or here?
Here.
Oh.
Oh.
Yep. So the big wedding.
Exciting.
Beg your pardon?
So it's exciting.
It's so exciting.
Will you be able to go to the town hall with her or no?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
That's
Will be
great.
very few people. Well, there's just his family and Gary, myself, and my son and his wife, and that's it.
Oh, that's cool. At least you'll be able with them. That's nice.
So anyway, she got her a dress, she got shoes. I mean, the whole he got a suit, he got whatever.
That's
so
so
it's
exciting.
amidst the rumble in the jumble that's happening right now. It's nice to have some beautiful, steady things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
That's so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
wonderful that is.
Thank you.
How old is your daughter?
Oh, that's a good question. She was born in 91. So
29.
so she will be 30 in July. Yeah, she's a teacher, so she drives to school every day, private school. And this morning she called me at 6:30 or something, crying hysterically.
Oh.
She said, "Mom, somebody shot. I heard a shot and my back window crumbled."
Oh my God.
While she was driving.
What?
That's scary.
Oh, so scary. She was driving through the Bronx and on the highway. But we after thinking more about it, I think I asked, I said, was it under in a tunnel? She said,
Yeah.
yes, I was in a tunnel. And I said, maybe it was just a truck on the other side of the road and something flew from that truck and shattered the window. I'm hoping. But there are crazy people out there and you don't know,
Wow.
we'll get lost. So
I'm glad that she's safe.
me too. Could
Yeah.
have turned out very differently.
Yes.
Wow.
So she's going to borrow my car tomorrow. I'm driving it over after our Zoom. And then she'll have my car to go to school tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Very tricky.
But I love it that you do bookbinding. I learned that in school. I went to Rudolf Steiner school, and so that was like part of it. And I remember the stitching and the things, and oh my God, and the paper is so special. That's so cool that you are teaching that.
I know. Yeah. I'm famous in the district because I'm the only one, basically. I mean, nobody else does that.
I know. That's such an unusual gift,
Yeah.
Yeah, and why would they use that? I'm so curious why they're teaching that to people.
Oh, it's so useful in the classroom for children because they use it to whatever projects they're learning. They use the books. They put their projects in the books.
So is it a Waldorf school or a regular?
No, regular schools.
Oh, that's
any
cool.
Social studies or whatever they're studying. Sometimes it's let's say the city of New York, or maybe it's the Hudson River with all the animals that are there, or I mean, they have so many things from chick to egg, so the stages, from egg to chick, I should say. So
chicken or the egg, we just never know.
Right. So it's the teachers use those books with the children.
That's so cool.
So poetry, stories, I mean, in anything. And one teacher had all her students make all the books themselves, the journals. And instead of buying the notebooks, they made their own. And the children never lost a notebook. And they took great, great care of them.
Mhm.
It's interesting.
They
Yeah.
invested in themselves, in their project. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Good idea for a retreat.
Yes. Yes. You're right.
Wow.
I've taught for like church retreats, things like that, making little post notepads or something. It's fun. It's beautiful.
Well, it's very personal at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. I have to just step away.
Karin, so, and what's the situation with your home and everything? Are you staying there or what's the deal?
Well, the lawsuit is still, believe it or not, still not over. But I need to declutter the house. So I decided to hire somebody to help me declutter. And she comes once a week and we just target one area. So we targeted the garage one day. Last week was the master bedroom. So each week that she comes, we work together for 4 hours. We fill bags. We decide this is to give away. This is to whatever, sell maybe, I don't know. And this is to keep. And she also has addresses on people, like the veterans can need furniture, for example. She just has resources. So she knows when I have a question, she said, oh yeah, I have somebody. Let me put you in touch with that person.
Oh,
It's invaluable. We are so efficient when she comes.
oh.
And then it's just like, okay, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. But for 4 hours, it's tiresome.
It's intense. It sounds like, yeah.
There's emotional component sometimes
Oh,
too.
I know. You're stripping layers and layers and layers. Feels great though.
I like it, because I am sometimes so stuck. I don't like stuff, but stuff shows up anyway, right? And I feel like it's such a mountain. But when you just said that, I'm like, oh my God, if somebody would be kicking my booty, I would love it.
Yeah.
I have to think about that.
Yeah. It's well worth it.
Yeah.
And then the house will be ready to be put on the market. And the market is right. I mean, we hope. It was
Right.
Sylvia.
Yeah. Wow,
So,
cool.
yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. So it sounds like you're good.
You look like a movie star, Nicole. I almost didn't recognize you at first.
Yeah.
Like, where's the teenager that I know? You look like a movie star.
What? No, it's me.
Yeah.
There's my dog.
That's
Oh, Scooty.
Yeah.
Awesome. So who else? So Emily keeps smiling into the camera, but she's not saying anything. Come on, girlfriend, tell us everything.
They're calling on you.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's been not too great here actually. Mrs. Barry passed away December 1st. So kind of just been in like a wobble, as Stacy put it.
Yeah, but I think we're in a wobble and a trampoline that's going up and down at the same time.
Oh.
I don't know, do you want to explain more about that and then I can talk?
Yeah, so it's a really big hole here. We lost a lot of the longtime staff that were here with her, taking care of her. Those were people that we interacted with almost on a daily basis, particularly for the last year and a half with Mrs. Barry. Just being able to walk down in the barn. She passed away after I think Alzheimer's, just the long end part of Alzheimer's. There wasn't any event that happened, or it just kind of took her away. So that's been, there's been some more downsizing going on here with the herd, and they will be putting the whole farm on the market. So I'm kind of trying to stay really engaged in all the day-to-day stuff here that I need to do. But I'm also having to really look ahead to what will happen next. Emily's still got a year and a half of school left, so no matter what, we'll try to be around Lincoln to get her through that. But it's opening a really big, exciting time in my life, but I've got to hurry up and start putting the energy into thinking about what's that going to look like.
Mm.
So, yeah.
How long do you have before you have to, or how long can you stay there to like, before you would have to look for a different place?
Yeah, so I think that by the, they're trying to, everything is fine. It's not like everything's in, what do you say when it's in?
Disarray.
Yeah, it's not. But the estate is still going to take several months to settle out. And once that's done, then they'll be able to put the work into just getting things really polished up here that need to be done. It'll go on the market, and we've had very sort of different comments. Some people are saying, this is a time when people are just looking to create their own havens. They think it'll go really quickly. Other people are saying it's going to be so pricey, and it's such a unique place that it's a real niche to sell it, and it's going to be really difficult. So it could go either way.
Mm.
But I'm ready to live in a trailer if I need to for a while. I don't care.
Well, I understand our friend Stacy takes in people that need homes.
Yeah.
We got room. We got room, kids.
Yep.
Air mattresses, we can do it.
I'll add to the collection.
What's that?
I can add to the collection.
Yes, I'd love that. You guys would be an awesome add to the collection.
See, we're already all fighting over you guys. Because I said, you can stay in the studio, bring Thor and the puppy.
Yep, we got
Yay.
Thor, we got Cody.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. You know,
Perfect.
there is a barn in the back here that they just converted to a wood shop. In the middle of Worcester, this place has a barn that I don't know what it was used for in the past, because it's such in the middle of the city here. But who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how many horses do you guys have? Just Thor?
Well, we're down to four and a half. Oh, a really fun thing we have. Go ahead. You say who the half
Oh
is.
yeah, so Pesto is here, our donkey, who I don't remember since it's been so long time we called. I know I definitely told you he was coming, but I don't think we've talked since he's been here. But he is such a sweet little thing. The horses had a very hard time getting used to him, but I think now they've all settled into a routine. And actually, Pesto escaped from us yesterday and ran all around the property, so that like the horses were like, oh my God, what is that thing doing? But they seem to all be settled now, so that's good.
Oh,
That's funny. How did you catch him?
Oh, he ran him into the field, so I just closed the gate and made him run around in there for a little bit.
And then he was like, oh, this makes me tired if I get out.
That's funny.
So, but you would only, you would only walk away there with one horse, Thor, right? Or is there, I know you want Jazz, but.
Yeah. Well, if we could ever talk anybody into letting us have Pesto too, I would definitely want him to come. But yeah, it sounds like just Thor. Harmony, Leah's horse, would go. I think they'd probably board her somewhere local. There's some really nice farms nearby, and she can go keep her horse there and keep up her training. And Silas is a retirement horse, her other horse. And George will go with Anna.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So lots of new stuff ahead with you guys.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I have to decide when is the right moment to stop letting the universe sort of stop. It's like when do you grab for that ring on the merry-go-round? When do you know that everything is sort of slowing down? It's not that vortex that you're riding around in, but it's time to kind of hold on to the wall and go with it and plan and then figure out how you're gonna make it all settle out.
It would be so interesting because when you said you have to stay in town for Emily's school, I was like, that is so stupid. I mean, you're doing it over Zoom anyway. Why couldn't you just stay in the district, even if you were moving to New Hampshire or something? You know what I mean? That seems like so goofy. How would they even know? That, you know what I mean? That's just such an unfortunate situation where it doesn't matter right now where you are, because you could be on Zoom. It's just, that's a little bit of a holding you in a certain area for longer than you need to be there, really, because
Right.
homeschooling, not homeschooling, but remote schooling. Wow, interesting. Yeah. And the school, you're still excited about it, Emily? Everything there's pretty good?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have like this love-hate relationship with it because I'm doing fully remote. And in the beginning of the year, it was like super isolating because, I just stare at a screen like this for 8 hours a day. And so that was like, just took some time to get used to. And then it was really nice because I did get into a routine and I got to see my friends every once in a while. And now it's like the teachers have become way more relaxed with it. So they're like, oh, we can have more classes. We can do it for a longer time. And so now it's just 8 hours a day staring at a computer screen. So, that's not so fun.
Yeah.
Wow. That stinks. Oh, G. So, I was gonna say, Debbie, I don't know if Karin and Claire, they don't know about what you told us, which is kind of a big deal, I think.
Okay, I'll tell them. So as of today, I was able to get confirmation on something that I was working on for a month or so, and that is that I will have a horse partner for lease, a half lease and a horse partner. So I'm thrilled. His name is Sammy. He's one of the school horses there. They normally don't lease school horses, but they made an exception for me. And I'm thrilled. My father's name was Sam. I feel like his energy is in on this. And I will be going there for the first time tomorrow to ride him without riding him in a lesson type thing. So that this will be, and a friend of mine received a surprise Christmas present from her husband for a half lease on another horse there. So she and I will ride together.
Wow.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Lovely. Congratulations.
Thank you. It is a dream come true that I just never expected to come true. So I'm thrilled.
Wow. Well,
Very-
send us a picture.
I will. Actually, when I go tomorrow, I'm going to get some better pictures of us together, and then I'll send them out to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Which of course leads us to the other person who now has a horse, Miss Claire. How's Sunny and how's that going?
It's going great. Oh, yeah. Well, it's going good. I did hit a glitch though. I had Dr. Dana come out and we did, some shots to get caught up on and stuff that didn't happen at the Bridge Center. And we found out that she has Cushing's. So now there's another medication that I have to get on. But she's not insulin resistant, but she has Cushing's and the numbers were kind of high. So that got me a little frazzled because I'm like, oh, my baby, what am I going to do? So, I'm paying attention, just trying to take her out every day. I take her for walks almost every day. If I don't hand walk her, I ride her and out into the fields and try to keep her busy. But she's fitting in. They're expanding some of the paddocks now and Kathy's hoping that we can get her together with one of the other horses and let her start grazing with one of the other horses, or going out to at least, have some interaction. She tried it with one of them. Her horses are all mother, daughter, son, and another daughter that's off the property. And then she has a pony that is in a separate paddock. So the family stays together. So she tried putting Sunny out there with one of the middle mare, and she was totally, all freaked out because she didn't want Sunny anywhere near her daughter. And oh, it was so funny. And Sunny's just over on the other side, just, grazing around, not paying any attention to her. So we think that she's actually going to be able to go out with the gelding, who is a clown. Oh my God, he needs attention all the time, and he's a big character. So and they get along good, squeak here and there, but they get along really nicely. I think that'll work out nicely. So, so other than that, yeah, she's been doing good, and she's, settling in. I did just start her on the Pergolide. So she's been on half a pill for about a week now, and I think it's affecting her appetite and everything. So that's got me a little, nervous, because I'm used to her just, hey, let's get into that, and she's like looking at it and then walks away, and I'm like, oh no. So it makes me nervous, but I'll get over it. And yeah, so
Well, and maybe
that's that. I'm staying at the villa.
Well, so I want to just say something about that, because I had a bunch of horses. Shana actually is insulin resistant, and I had many horses with Cushing's, and I don't know how expensive Pergolide is, but I did a lot of even recouping the horse's health through herbs. I'll send you the link to the place that I mean, they saved several horses' lives from laminitis, from Cushing's, from whatnot. And it might be at the beginning a little bit more expensive to get them started on it, because you might need a couple of things. But then at the end of it, it's just one herb that she can have. And that is what I like about it, is it doesn't just change, with Pergolide, it's kind of like more trying to stop certain things, but not healing what creates the Cushing's. And so that might just be something to try out.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at Smart Pack and some of their supplements, and they did have an herbal one that said, some of the people that were remarking said that it did help reverse the symptoms. She's not insulin resistant at this time, but I am worried about, laminitis and that kind of thing. So I've actually started looking at your old videos there with Denise Rabine on acupressure, and I've got I got my book on acupressure, so I want to start taking those classes. So I've been doing acupressure points on her, trying to keep her, immune system up and that kind of thing. And today she did have a lot of releases. Like I said, she's only on a half a pill for this week and next week. I really didn't even want to put her on it. I was hesitating, and I was trying to think of the herbal thing, or an oils, or acupressure, Reiki, all that. So I still, and if you get them on it, I'm afraid you won't be able to take her off it. I don't know how that works. So yeah, if you could send me that link, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, do some muscle testing to see what is maybe the best route for her, because some horses, they're great on Pergolide and it's wonderful, but some horses' systems are just too sensitive, or it doesn't even do anything to support them. So do some muscle testing.
Yeah, because she's been on that what is it? Smart Gut Ultra. So she's been having she's been on it for a long time, but she does have some, stomach issues and some hind end issues. So yeah, I definitely want to look into the herbs. That would be something.
To say one more thing. Andrea and I were working together with a different horse, not the one she was describing earlier. And, we you know, and I think we as horse people see that a lot, that a horse often, when it has been in a stressful situation, like your horse was, because, you know, that was a shit show, you know, that place and the stress
Oh,
and the
big.
stress you had and everything. And so she might also just have this Cushing situation right now as a way where her system is just starting to now show signs of the stress, and it's almost like through detoxing you could shift her well-being, because often it takes about 6 to 12 months for a horse to come off a stressful situation and then show what's actually going on. So it might not be forever, because
Yeah.
she's now in a much better place with a much better person, you know.
Right. Well, that and being there with the weather changes that we've been having, the up and down and the pouring rain and then cold and all that. The girl that where I am, she likes to put all her horses in every night, and so she doesn't like Sunny to be standing out in the rain. So she's been putting Sunny in a stall at night, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with that. She hates it. She gets really stressed and, you know, spins around and whatnot. And one morning I went in there and she let her mare there, the sassy pants one, walk around the middle aisle because she's got a suspensory issue or something. And she stood in front of Sunny, where Sunny was, which is where usually the mayor's son usually is. His name's Spirit also. So Sunny was in there. And I go in there, Sunny was drenched, just soaking wet, because, and she only had a real thin, because she was so nerved up. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I said, you know what? No more. She's just going to stay out. She can go in her shed. That's what she's used to. And so that's what we've been doing, is just keeping her outside. Luckily, we haven't had the bad rainstorm. So, but yeah, it's been crazy. So that's that.
So you're
And
staying
then,
at
like
the villa?
everybody else going forward, I mean, I still have,
You're staying at the
I'm
villa?
at the villa
you
right
said?
now. Yeah,
Okay.
I am. Yeah, I'm taking care of the chickens. That's why I was late coming in. I had to go put the chickens in. So I'm staying at the villa right now, and I'm trying to get my studying done for my path so I can keep my path up, which I have till March, because I haven't been doing anything. I was so busy at the barn. I didn't take any classes, or any clinic I signed up for got canceled, and you know how it's been. It's been crazy. So now I'm just trying to get my credits in for the path renewal, to keep my path ES up. And that moving forward, trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the spring. I'm thinking March, I'm going to try going back to, there's 2 barns. The one where I was going to take Sunny out in Holliston, Project Comeback. She wants me to come work out there with her. And then there's a new, I don't know if I told you this yet, a new barn in Randolph that is a new special needs, just built. It's where Blazing Saddles, I don't know if you're familiar with Blazing Saddles was,
Yeah.
Nicole,
Yeah.
but it's the same property, and she built a brand new big arena with, 23 stalls, ramp. Yeah, it's beautiful. So she wants Sunny and I to come up there and work with her. But we'll see. I'm like this about it, still not sure. And
Would you
and
have
then the
a place
massage
to
thing,
live?
I still haven't got up the courage.
Would you have a place to live there?
I'm still living where. No, that's the thing. I wish I did up in Holliston. I would have moved up there.
Yeah.
I would have brought Sunny up there, because she had actually clients for me there, and Sunny and I could have started working up there. So
check in with Boo
but-
Martin. Do you know Boo Martin up in New Hampshire?
mm-mm.
Touchstone
No.
Ranch, they did all the paths, they did for many years the path certifications there and whatnot. And they're doing a very big wellness program. I know a woman that is starting there who doesn't even know horses, but they're apparently doing a whole wellness thing. You might want to, Boo Martin is her name, B-O-O Martin. She's a big person in the
great.
path thing. You know her, right?
Really? I've never heard,
Boo. Temple, New Hampshire.
I've never. Boo Martin, I gotta write that down.
Yeah, write it down.
So,
Check
and
out
so,
what they're doing because they
Yeah,
have so
so
much
and with
living
that-
space on the premises also, right? I mean, have you been there, Diane?
oh,
Not
really?
years, but yeah, I did. But yeah, been up there for
Wow.
several things. Leah was there for summer camp too. What, 3
Yeah.
years ago?
She
Huh.
was.
Yeah, check it out.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, yeah. And then the final thing is I don't know if you saw that on Facebook or anything, but I finally got to lay my dad to rest after arguing with my brother.
Oh,
We were trying to wait for my sister to come up. Things just seemed to be getting worse and worse. I said, well, I don't want to go into Christmas. Let's honor his wishes. And, he wanted to be buried at Otis, at the National Cemetery in Otis, because he was in the Army. And so that's what we did. So he's been laid to rest there now. And so that's a little closure there. I feel better about it. It's his birthday next month, and I'm gonna go up and see the plaque. They should have it installed by then, on his birthday. So that's another thing. And other than that, just trying to make a plan. I'm thinking March, gonna try to get something going on, teaching with Sunny or just working up in Randolph with their horses. They actually got one of our horses from the Bridge Center. The horse got sent to Maine and it didn't work out with that girl. And Helen, who is running the place up in Randolph, she really liked that horse, Amber. And so she ended up acquiring Amber. So Amber's up there with her now. So that's good. So I'm familiar with one of her horses. And other than that, the massage therapy, I'm still on the fence about going back to massage therapy. I have one client I see right now. And yeah, so that's it. But you know what? I feel like I haven't even really had a break. Even though that the Bridge Center closed, I'm doing the same thing over at Kathy's house. She's got the 4 horses and then I got Sunny. And usually I end up doing all her stalls. I'm only supposed to do her stalls 3 days a week, but it seems like I'm there a lot more than 3 days a week. I'm there like 7 days a week. And if it's not doing all the stalls, then I'm picking up other things like feeding out her lunch or so. But I'm keeping busy doing that anyway, and it makes me happy. So I get to be with Sunny, and that's it. That's it.
wow. Yeah, but don't
gonna
forget to
stop-
take a
I gotta
break.
start working. Yeah, I need to start working on my health thing. That's why this week at the Villa, I'm centering and doing some meditating, and I got to start doing more for me. So that's my plan this week is work on the path, credits, and get those classes out of the way. And then I'm taking another, some equine, like vet classes online. And
Wow.
Cool.
that's what I'm
Very
doing.
cool. Wow.
Digging it.
Awesome. You sound so
Yeah.
much calmer
Great
and
seeing you
more,
all.
you sound much calmer and much more on a good frequency again. So I'm so glad. And you look actually, I mean, it's
Not
hard to
pissed
see,
off?
but you look actually very, like red cheeked, healthy, you look really good.
Oh, I've been outside all day. Yeah, I come in
Yeah,
here, I'm
but-
sweating. It's only 68 degrees in here and I'm sweating. But yeah. But I'm
Welcome
not
to
pissed
Ma-
off anymore. And I don't have to deal with those people anymore. I don't even want to think, every time somebody mentions that place, I can't even think about it.
No,
I-
no, it's,
There was actually somebody, yeah, there was somebody from the town hall, from the water department looking for me at Al's, the Feed and Grain, and asked Al where I was because they needed to get into the Bridge Center to shut off all the water.
and you're like,
But she's not there anymore.
nope. Oh, good. Go
Done.
Al.
Done. It
Andrea,
was his
I know
birthday yesterday.
you're chopping some hamburger over there, but I'm wondering, how about your horse? You didn't mention him.
He's doing good. we had a little upset at our stable a couple days ago. Last year, a house across the street caught on fire, and it wasn't a big deal. We got over it. But this year, the owner and the fire department decided to burn it to the barn, and they did not warn us. So I went to catch my horse from the pasture, and this is okay. You know Sammy. Sammy's the guy that runs to me when he sees me. Well, he saw the smoke in the distance, and he took one look at me in the halter, and he ran the other way. So I had to get him from the barn to the stable and hold him for the farrier. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. So this is what I did. Exactly what you taught me, Nicole. Just kind of grounded myself, walked up to him. He put his head in the halter, got him in the barn, got his feet done. By the time we were done with that, we had to wait for the vet to pull a blood sample for a Coggins test. So I put him in the stall, and by now, what had been smoke were huge flames. I mean, I can't tell you how far away this was. It was maybe 0.2 of a mile, but the sky just lit up with flames. Horses were running around their pastures. Sammy is racing around his stall, screaming, spraying diarrhea everywhere. And he's got to stand still for a vet to draw blood. And have got to figure out how to make him to his pasture. So I love my vet. And when she showed up, I just said, first thing I want you to do is sedate my horse a little bit. So she did. She gave him some IV sedation and some IM sedation. Was able to pull the blood, and then he was nice and calm and could walk out to the pasture. Meanwhile, the rest of the farm is a shit show. One horse, the owner was trying to bridle her, and the horse got away and raced past me with reins around her neck and the bridle wrapped around a hind leg.
Oh my goodness.
And galloped all over the property and ended up breaking through the fence to get back into her pasture. Another horse got loose. It was just crazy times. I was really glad I was there because, you know, I could be there and help my horse and help him get sedated. But it was a real lesson too, just being able to ground myself and help him until the flames started to shoot up, and then there's just only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But
wow.
But he's doing well. We are trying to find things to keep ourselves having fun together. Nicole, I love your book, and I'm trying to meter out how much I read. But I got like to one of the early chapters where you were talking about working with Shauna and on Liberty stuff. And Shauna's like, yeah, I did that. So, you know, what's the point in doing it over and over again? So I'm trying to come up with little challenges for Sammy. I'm starting to work with cones. So right now I'm teaching him to go through cones that are kind of spaced apart over a pole, and teaching him I can move these cones in closer and he can go through them. And then I would like to build a little course for him to learn to go through the cones. And hopefully he will do that because he wants to please me, but he may just decide the whole thing's stupid and just kick over all the cones and run around. But he's a horse, so you just never know what you're gonna get.
Well, and again, if they're underwhelmed, it's kind of like, okay, that's stupid. You know, if there's no purpose behind it, they just, yeah. Oh, that's funny. It's hard to stay creative. I mean, and I know you got all the books on groundwork and, you know, agility and whatnot, right? You bought a bunch of those, right?
A bunch, yeah.
But it's still, some horses just are too smart for some of those games.
Well, and I think if I keep changing it around a little bit and I tell him what a rock star he is for being able to do it, that seems to speak to him pretty well.
Yeah, that's that works. That's the Shauna thing too. It's like, as long as I tell her how fabulous she is, she'll do it at least a second time. Maybe.
At least one more time.
Yeah.
So I still kind of struggle with the idea of, you know, taking him to the retirement farm that you and I spoke about. And it's a beautiful farm, and this woman takes great care of the horses. And every time I get close, it's like, no, I need to be with my horse almost every day. I need to be able to be with him.
Yeah.
So.
And we also, this was actually so neat when Andrea and I were talking about the retirement with Sammy about the retirement place. And something I never thought of before, he kind of helped us understand this, is that some of the horses, yeah, some horses like to be retired and just hang out in the pasture and be all done. But some horses like Sammy, and then we talked about this, they also like to meet each other and actually, how was it again? And kind of want to be acknowledged for what they have done in the past. And it's almost more like a not a veterans meeting, you know, where everybody gets to say, oh yeah, and I fought and blah, blah, blah. But it is a little bit like that, right? I mean, where it's like, oh, I was a Grand Prix dressage horse and I did a lot of cross country and I did this. And, you know, it's kind of the same how I feel about older people where, you know, you become Dick and Jerry and Jane at the senior home and you play bingo and watch a movie every week, but nobody remembers who you are and what you did. And that always bothers me, right? Because these people have had such amazing lives and so much to share. And Sammy pointed out to us that that's very true for horses too, right? Remember how he, like, do you remember more details how he did that?
I remember that. I mean, it was kind of like talking over the glory days.
Yeah, yeah.
Just talking over who they were.
Yeah, go to the local coffee shop, you know, meet at, oh yeah, and we were joking, he wouldn't meet at Dunkin' D, but at Starbucks, because they have better stories. You know, it's just was so interesting to me that that matters, you know, that you could actually hang out with horses that are, you know, have established something and you all feel good about yourself. There's a prowess to the career that they have. And if that's the case, and if it's acknowledged by the person, which this woman sounds like she is doing that, it was just so fascinating to learn about even the retirement. It's not just sent you out in the pasture.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I should, I don't know how much you try and stay away from Facebook now, but I should let you friend her so you can see the postings that she posts of the horses that are there. It's really sweet. It's really sweet because she adores these horses she's taking care of. And they lost one a few weeks ago, and you know, she was really heartbroken over it. And I think she does a really nice job.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet. I'm not, and I may never be there. You know, I may never be.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, and I will go back to social. It's very funny because I've been off social media and I don't miss it at all. Honestly, it's almost like I have a hard time getting back into it. It's like,
Good for you. Good for you.
I don't
Maybe
know.
you shouldn't. Maybe you should just let it be.
I wouldn't bother.
It's pretty ugly right now.
Yeah, see, and that's what got me out. Oh, you
Yeah.
put Cody in place for you guys?
I wanted to come say hello.
Cody!
Yeah.
Cody boy.
Sure.
Yeah, that was what got me out of it, you know, earlier. And now I'm almost like, I mean, for me, it's just not a business tool. It never really gave me any business. So for me, it's not that helpful.
It's just a way to waste time
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Well,
and get mad at a bunch of people you don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know you can't even post anything. Somebody will take it the wrong way, and then the next thing you know, you got this big. I did that the other day. I just put out a picture of an eagle that I changed the thing. I'm like, and somebody came back with some comment, and the next thing you know, it blew up. And I said, you know what? I'm taking out. I typed in there, I'm just taking it down. I don't need any of this, you know, back and forth baloney. It's like, that's not why I posted it. I just tried to do a nice thing. So it's just,
I think the key
yeah, you don't need the BS.
Exactly. And I think for me, the key is what I have realized by pulling out is that my work with the animals is getting so much more. It's just like you're not dropping into frequencies that are just not beneficial, right? It's just like we could, like Lacey said, you know, better food or more or a little yoga or some meditation or whatnot. Those are all frequency increasers, if we want to call it that, or raise the frequency. And I just realized that it makes a huge difference if we stay on a high frequency. And you know, even by taking the photos down, like you just said, Claire, that's taking it to a higher frequency, you know, and saying like, I'm not involving in this shenanigans. And it is amazing how much more powerful some of the work becomes, for all of us as energy workers or healers or communicators or whatever we are. I found it surprising how much of a difference it has made. And that's, I think, why I'm like, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of an interesting observation for me, at least.
If only we had Facebook for animals and we could
Yeah.
just connect with our animals that way.
Ooh,
Yeah, there's an idea. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I
Well,
gotta tell you, Sunny, when we let her out sometimes, and there's this big area that she walks around, and whenever she's let out, she always goes looking for the other horses, and she goes right up to their gate where they are, and she stands there. And then, of course, she turns around and looks at me like, well, are you gonna let me in? And I feel so bad because
Oh,
she can't go in with the other horses. And I'm like, you're gonna get in there soon enough. Just let things calm down a little bit more. But I took her for a walk today down this long trail out in the woods. She loves the woods. I have trouble keeping up with her. And it starts getting narrower and narrower. And it can't come to this little brook. And she wanted to go across the brook. And I could see there's all briars and everything over there. And I'm like, no, we're not going that way. Just stop right here. But she really wanted to keep going. She just loves she gets out there and she just wants to keep going. It's amazing. Nicole, what was the Boo Martin in New Hampshire? What was the name of her farm? That Boo Martin.
Touchstone? Oh, no, what is it, Diane? Touchstone. What?
Touchstone?
There's Touchstone. There was Pony Power. It was
Pony,
It was what? Pony what?
Pony Power. I'm trying to go through the list of getting it to what I know it as now.
Okay, let me just see. I'm gonna.
Does anybody have an email for her or anything that you could send to me?
Yeah,
or-
I will send it to you. I got
I'll
it.
look it up. I'll see if,
I will send it to you.
okay.
With
But I
all
want
the-
that herbal thing too. That would,
Yeah, I'll send you both.
okay, thank
Yeah. So I don't know about Carrie. I think she might not make it today. I mean, the exciting news is that she has an offer on her house and that the apartment is just about ready to be inhabited, right? Debbie, you would know. Sorry, Debbie. She just.
Well, the apartment, it probably, the earliest it would be ready would probably be maybe the first week or the second week in February. Because none of the appliances are there yet. But
So,
they
but
have put
that's
it,
soon. That's very soon then.
yeah.
So the timing is right because before they close and everything, that's going to take at least 30 days, you would think.
Oh, yeah, yes, definitely. And she needs the time. She's got a lot to do.
Yeah.
And she does, she got a third offer that came in today too.
Ooh.
But she already told these other people, and she does want the people that she accepted the offer on, she does want them to have it. But she is using the fact that the third offer came in as a little leverage because, you say certain things and you say, okay, I will accept this offer, but understand this is it. And unless it's a safety thing, we're not doing anything else. Then people bring other people in and they get their lawyers and then they start talking about other stuff. So she's going to use that third offer as kind of a leverage point and say, look, here it's this, that's it.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. So that's great news that she's that's all happening for her there. That's
Yeah, it's
and the
great.
timing is of course perfect, right?
It is perfect. Yeah.
It's so Carrie-like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's, she was recently up in Ancrumdale, running a short program with some partners of hers up there that have a farm too. And that went extremely well. And then she went over again. She's been now twice or three times recently to see her apartment. She went up twice with her daughter. One time I went up with her. So everything's in flow.
Nice. Awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Anybody that has anything else you want to share, since it now may have popped up as we were talking?
I was just wondering, if any of you are interested, I can just send you a link in an email. My friend in Florida she's a channeler, and she's channeled for me for years. And I just recently took her class on using pendulum and connecting and whatnot. And she is offering now, I think on her website, once a month. You can do it by like a small donation. She's going to do a blog once a month or a channel at the beginning of the month on the kind of on the pulse of the energy of 2021 on a spiritual level. So I can forward you the link if you guys, you can jump on it and register if you want to, but I find the channeled information that she's been getting like extremely helpful, like the views and the energy of it and that type of thing. And since there's so much confusion and flux, and it always brings it back into a soulful perspective. So if you guys are interested, I can just forward her website link and you can look under the tab if you want to register for like the monthly when she go. You don't have to be there live, but if you register, she'll send you the recorded channel and the transcript if you want it.
I'd love it.
Yeah,
I-
definitely.
I think Karin just discovered the hearts.
What?
Yeah, on the Zoom.
The heart.
She's doing the little signs on the bottom where it says
I see
reaction
that little celebration hat. Where did you find that? You're so cute.
on the bottom. It says
Reaction.
reactions. Yeah.
I
I was just gonna say. I mean, I'm taking that actually, Stacy. I mean, I think we should or could but I think we should keep the email thing going, just so you know that if any one of us has something that might be interesting. I mean, we have so many wonderful things like Karin and Debbie and everybody who has something that is fun or new or something that you think one of us could be interested in, or many of us. Let's keep that going, because I think that's wonderful. We all have such rich worlds and such abundant knowledge and information. I think teach each other or support each other or help each other or expand each other. So I think that's a great idea.
Okay, cool.
Right? Wouldn't you all say that makes
Yeah.
sense? And you either
Absolutely.
read it or it's either yay or nay. It's
Emails stopped.
Me
what? Lazy?
I said I would be sad if like our group emails stopped and stuff. So
Yes.
even if we don't have the Zooms, the emails are still good because like sometimes we have exciting stuff and just want to share it with everybody, or
Yeah.
learn new things or stuff like that.
I agree. Yeah.
Well,
Totally.
my cat is lying right there. All in
Oh.
Totally passed out.
Every
Very
time I have
relaxed.
a client who comes here, he insists on coming inside the house. He's usually outside. And he insists on lying on their legs, the lower parts of the legs. So now I acknowledge that he's doing his part in the healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's very, very proud of it.
Yep. Yep. And especially since you've recognized that, it's almost like that's the intensity probably, or the intensity of the purpose is highlighted,
Yes.
when you do that. Oh,
Very
that's so
interesting.
sweet. So perfect.
Mhm.
Thank
So
God
good.
we all have our animals. That's
I
all I
know.
have to say.
Stoli, say goodbye. He's right on the keypad there.
Oh,
Hi, Stoli.
so I will tape this. I recorded it, so I will try and upload it tonight, and then I'll send it out in the next day or two. And yeah, I mean, let's stay in touch. This is just such a special group, and I'm so grateful for the amazing connection we all created. I mean, just like wow.
I'll be
Oh, yeah.
Nicole.
Yep. We thank you very much for igniting us and inspiring us and making that connection. It's just fantastic.
Absolutely.
Look, somebody else wants to say thank you again. See, it's like,
Oh my goodness.
Look at the little posy.
Yeah.
bye.
Mhm.
Nicole, I wanted to ask how's Zoe?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Miss Zoe, she went with oh yeah, that's actually really interesting. So she went with a friend for 6 weeks to Mexico recently, just kind of like over, right before the holidays, I think, because the massage place where she works down in P-Town, on the Cape, was closing for the month end of November and December. And so she just took this gay friend of hers, and they went into some gay village in Mexico and had like, of course, a fabulous time. But the interesting thing is the guy who runs the massage place down in P-Town is grooming her very hard to take the business over from him.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
great.
that's
David
some
is
serious
like,
stuff.
my daughter is actually settling into a business. I mean, he's a little like, whoa. So and then she talked to us recently about, yeah, and the bookkeeping. So I do the bookkeeping, the taxes. I'm not, and we're like, what? Flower child, flower child and bookkeeping? What the heck? How's that working? And she sounded so knowledgeable about this whole business part. We were just like pinching each other and going like, oh my God. Yeah, there comes the man of the hour. But we were just like, wow, this is cool. So
That's
yeah,
neat.
so she seems to be fine.
Good for her.
I mean, we don't
Excellent.
see her a lot except
Great.
over WhatsApp, but yeah.
Give her our love.
Yeah.
The what?
Give her our love.
Yes.
Tell her, please.
Yes, I will definitely. Yes, apparently we might be getting together. The thing is, she is, for my taste, a little too much out in the world. So we'll see. But I said maybe we can take a walk together or something, and actually see her. So hopefully that will happen in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I will let her know for sure.
Good.
I'm glad she's doing good.
Yeah.
Were you still planning to go in the spring or no?
Not the way it looks right now.
Yeah, I kind of wondered. I didn't think. Okay, it's financially. I mean, there's so much catching up to do on my end. It's like I think we're all going to have a transitional year this year of just
and when you think about it, it's kind of like with Carrie moving and doing all that stuff, Diane and Emily with their things, we tried to figure out some, like see how the whole health situation gets settled in. And part of me is just, at this point, I'm not sure how many people really are interested and curious to go there. And I'm not interested in going on a plane at this point. So I would want to drive if that was the case. And so that all means there's way more to figure out. So I don't know, it might be a short notice, something might pop up. But I also feel the world will change again. And, what's another year? I mean, those horses hopefully are not going anywhere. I heard at one point that there was a fairly rich Texan who wanted to purchase or somehow get his fingers into it and bring the horses down to Texas. And I was like, those horses don't belong into the Texan landscape even, that would be such a huge thing. But it was an idea of saving, having enough land and the lease and the expenses and the whatnot. And I understand it's a business. While it's a conservation, it's also business. These animals need to be fed and cared for. But I'm just hoping that doesn't happen for the horses' sake, because I think, there's a big part about them being who they are is because of where they get to live and grow up. That's like their heart imprint in a way. So it just felt funny to me to consider they might go to Texas.
Yeah, that would be a huge climate change for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
30 feet of snow in the wintertime to like those summers down there, 110, 115 degrees. Like, how could they, that would be really tough on them.
Yeah. And, I can see Monarch, here, I mean, we are probably very similar. Sometimes Kim and I go back and forth, like who is cooler, who, where's it colder or whatnot. And I feel, even here, the vegetation and the hay is different. And his belly sometimes has, where he has a little diarrhea or, I try to give him second cut hay just to give him a little bit of extra calorie. And I'm like, I don't know if he can handle it. So the just the idea down in Texas, they use a lot of what's the alfalfa hay.
Alfalfa.
Yeah, which is like
yeah.
so different than the prairie grass. That's like a cold grass versus, alfalfa, which has that whole legume thing. So I just hope they're staying where they are. That's all I can say. And if I know they're moving, we might just short notice do something, So,
That'd be a lot of horses to move too.
yeah. But money, money does anything. With money, you can do anything.
I hope they don't move.
No, I hope so too. So, but I will see, it seems almost like Carrie is more on the beat with them at this point, because she is just such a beautiful networker. I'm not a very good networker because I don't really like people all that much. So I just don't have big interest in staying there, and the energies of some of the people that are stepping in, it's all very money driven. And so I'm not sure, but Carrie, I know, has made some really good connections. And so she probably potentially might be more keeping the pulse going potentially. I don't know. We'll see. Once she has jackpot, things might change. But, I know she offered her book to them to promote or told them about the book, and they said they would want to promote it. And so if she stays in touch with them in that regard with the board, I think she'll have a little bit of an insight to that. We'll see. Well, hopefully yeah, I think we will all, obviously if anybody catches anything, like Karin was saying about the documentary, the movie and all that stuff, let's just keep each other posted on it, because, it's nice to know how these horses are doing, because they are so deeply kind of integrated into our system.
They are. Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, sweet people, sweet ladies, I love you all so much. And
Love you.
let's throw a little heart right up there. Boom.
Yeah.
And let's stay
Here's
connected
my
and
heart.
keep us posted.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everything.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Love.
Bye.
Those emails going a little bit too.
Yes. Keep us posted on all your goings, especially, those of you who are changing, moving, all that stuff. We want to know what's going on.
And I'll send you guys pictures.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love to everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.